Yo, people, it seems like yesterday we received, as Arsenal fans, very, very big news regarding Bejamin Sesko. Let's get into it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. It is the weekend, so, at the very least, I hope all of you have a nice weekend. And we are here to talk about some of the latest updates on Bejamin Sesko to Arsenal. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it yesterday because I was at a Football 12th Man podcast social. Big up Dan Potts. Had a whale of a time. I won't lie, it was fun. We drank, we played some shuffleboard, and it was great. But look, we're here to talk about Sesko, and I think now, at least, I've come to the, reality. I've kind of accepted the reality that Bejamin Sesko will be an Arsenal player next season. There's no doubt in my mind anymore. It seems like all of the negotiations are going smoothly. It seems like not only will Arsenal get a deal that they feel is favourable, it seems like Bejamin Sesko is very happy with everything, and now his mind is set on going to Arsenal Football Club. Now look, both of the updates, they come from Florian Plettenberg. Florian, where art thou, Florian? You know what I mean? My Florian comes through, I don't know about LBs, but this is what he had to say. So, Bejamin Sesko is now keen on a move to Arsenal. Negotiations with the player are progressing positively. There has been clear progress in discussions over personal terms, but no verbal agreement has been reached yet. Arsenal have also not submitted an official offer to RB Leipzig. The atmosphere between all parties is very fair and transparent. Deal on. Yeah. Now, just a few things with this that I just want to touch upon. The first thing is he's gone and said that there's no full verbal agreement, but Bejamin Sesko does want to come to Arsenal. And I think the day before we had something come out from, I think it was Nicola Shearer. I think that's his name. The Italian Alan Shearer, that I like to call him. And he said that something along the lines of Sesko has given something like he's happy with or given full acceptance or availability to 2030. So we got a little bit of an insight on it's probably a 5-year contract that Arsenal is going to give Bejamin Sesko. Now the fact that he's keen on the move, I'm not so much concerned about the fact that there is no full verbal agreement, because we will reach one. It's not even a worry in my mind. Arsenal will reach a full agreement with Bejamin Sesko. Arsenal will be able to give better terms than whatever he is getting at RB Leipzig. And then on top of all of that, we've been putting in groundwork for Sesko for at least about 18 months now. So he's very clear on how much the manager wants him, very clear on how much the whole establishment wants him. And he's probably now just thinking, I'm actually going to become an Arsenal player. And you know what? At the age of 21, that's a pretty good feeling. At the age of 21, to be very confident in the fact that you will be playing football at Arsenal Football Club next season, that's a good feeling. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I kind of want to just go into really briefly is he said Arsenal have not submitted an official offer to RB Leipzig. Again, I'm not so worried about that either. And the main reason for that is because it says official offer. So official offer is basically, yeah, here we go. This is our first offer. Here we go. It's not really that big a deal, to be completely honest, because let's be real, in the discussions, they're obviously going to be talking about figures, and I think what will more likely happen is, this is what I think will happen is Leipzig will make clear the minimum that they want, and then what Arsenal will do is they'll probably put in a first offer of something a little bit less than what their minimum is, just to start off the negotiations. But again, Arsenal aren't putting in this much work for Sesko to not then follow through with an offer that will secure the player. Like, it seems at this point that I don't want to go as far as to say we've ruled out all other targets, but Sesko is the target at the moment. So we're not going to make him the target and then not go through with it. It doesn't make sense. Well, I mean, if that does happen, then I'll start having a bit of doubts about, I guess the impact Berta will have, because putting this much effort and time into one player to then not see it through, that seems like an Edu type move, innit? But look, we got another update from Florian Plettenberg, and this is what he had to say. So, more on Bejamin Sesko, who's keen on joining Arsenal with advanced talks ongoing over personal terms. Arsenal cannot simply trigger the €80 million release clause. It's a complicated structure. And the clause has also increased. That's why the fee is being negotiated freely. Arsenal, with Andrea Berta involved, are fully informed. A transfer fee of 80 million to 100 million euros will be due. Leipzig and Sesko share a top relationship. The player is relaxed and holds great respect for RB, now waiting for agreements. Now, this one again, it's like, I'll be honest, I don't know what they mean when they say complicated structure. I don't really know how release clauses work. I always had the kind of ignorant understanding of release clauses from how it works in Football Manager, where it's like, cool, this is the release clause, just pay that money and then you get the player. But I actually don't know what he means when he says complicated structure, because I just thought they were simple. But maybe, and obviously if his release clause has increased, maybe Arsenal are looking to do something along the lines of, okay, look, for example, we know that his release clause is 90 million euros, for example. Yeah, by the way, we're not paying all of that up front. So we don't mind hitting it, we'll be more than happy to hit the 90 million release clause, but we're paying less upfront. Now, if you want more upfront, then we're not hitting that release clause. Do you get what I'm saying? So, for example, if you want the 90 million release clause, we'll pay 30 million upfront, and then the other 60 million will agree to some sort of structure around payments and all of that across a certain period of time, maybe his whole contract at Arsenal, and then cool, you get your 90 million euros. And then obviously you can still spend that 90 million euros however you want, because it's money that you will have. But then it may mash up things that you want to do to replace him or bring in other targets. Or, look, we don't want to hit the 90 million euros, but if we're not hitting the 90 million euros, we'll give you, 50, 55 million up front. And then maybe we'll give you a 10 to 15 million over a certain period of time, which then, yeah, you're getting less overall, but now you've got more cash to play about with in the short term to try and replace Sesko and grab other targets. But look, the things that do matter is that, cool, Arsenal want the player wants Arsenal. That puts Arsenal in a favourable position, even though Sesko does have a top relationship with RB and obviously holds great respect for them, doesn't want to do anything that will kind of tarnish his reputation with the fans there, with the club. Maybe he's just a real respectable person in general, which is probably something that Arteta's keen on as well, because he is big on culture, and I guess it's more than just what you can do on the pitch. It's how you are as a person. A lot of people may not like that. I am someone that does like that. I do think that, culture is very important, especially coming from the discipline that I used to work in. I understand how a bad apple can ruin the dynamic of a team and can actually make you not hit the targets that you're going for. So, but there is a good relationship there between Arsenal and Sesko. And whenever a player does want to go to a club, it does allow the club they want to go to I guess, agree terms that are more favourable to them, or at least go into negotiations from a stronger, more favourable position. So look, one to watch for. I personally think he's coming to Arsenal. I don't have any doubt in my mind at the moment. So if I was Berta, or if I was part of like whatever the recruitment setup is, I would be saying, look, we're getting Sesko, it's pretty much done. So let's start focusing on our next big deal, which is Rodrigo. Yeah, let's not waste any time. But I have full confidence in the fact that Berta's working on multiple deals, and not just working on the one like we're used to Edu doing, because there has been a lot of reports saying that that's kind of the way he likes to work, and he basically, works on multiple deals at the same time, gets them to a certain point, and then when, everyone's aligned, everyone's agreed, and they're ready to trigger, they'll just start triggering offers, and that's how he likes to bring players in. So look, people, I wouldn't be surprised if next week we get the here we go. I doubt anything will happen over the weekend, but next week we get the here we go. And yeah, Sesko's pretty much an Arsenal player. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you next time.